Hello, today we will discuss modes of operation of 8255, which is our peripheral interfacing device. Actually, there are two basic modes of operation of 8255. These are input output mode and bit set reset mode, that is BSR. Input output mode is used to control port A, port B and port C. Bit reset and set mode is used to control port C. Actually, port C comprises of two subports, that is upper port C and lower port C. The bit set reset mode actually decide the number of bit of upper port will be used with the port A or number of bit with the lower port of C will be used with port B. So bit reset and set mode actually decides the number of bit of port C to be used along with port A and port B. Now the input output mode is further classified into three different modes, that is first one is mode 0. It is also known as basic mode, basic input output mode. Next is mode 1 and third is mode 2. These are the three further classifications of input output mode. We will discuss all these modes along with BSR mode in detail. Now we will go through mode 0 of, that is first type of input output modes. In this mode we can actually assess or we can use all these ports, that is port A, which is 8-bit port, port B and port C. We can use all these modes, all these ports in this mode. We can use port C either as a 8-bit port in this mode, or we can also use as separately 4-bit port, which is our lower and upper ports of port C. Now the second point is these port can be used either as input port or output port. So we can use these ports either as input or output port. The third point is output ports are latched. Actually, for the output ports, for the output purposes, these ports are latched. For input ports, these are not latched. A maximum 4 ports are available. In this mode we can use 4 ports, that is port A, port B, port C lower and port C upper. So overall 16 input output configurations are possible. We can interface, we can communicate with 16 input output devices in this mode. All these modes can be selected by programming a register internal to 8255 known as CWR. Now all these modes, that is mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, all these are controlled by control word register. This is a register in 8255. It is an 8-bit register which actually control these modes, that is mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2. All these modes are controlled by control word register, which is an 8-bit register in the 8255 IC. Now the control word register can be of two formats. This CWR has two formats. One is applicable for input output mode and other is applicable for BSR mode. That is, in input output mode format, it actually control all these mode, that is mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2, and in the BSR format it controls the BSR mode of operation. Now the next mode is mode 1, which is also known as Strobed input output mode. In this mode, actually the process of handshaking, the acknowledgements and handshaking actually done before interfacing any peripheral device with the 8086 microprocessor through the 8255 IC. Before communicating, the handshaking process will be done. For handshaking purpose, port C is allocated for this purpose. So in this mode, we actually left with port A and port B for any data transfer. That is, for any data transfer, port A or port B can be used among the peripheral devices, and for before interfacing and before connection of peripheral devices with the 8086 microprocessor, the handshaking control is actually be done by port C. Now the port C actually a 8-bit port which comprises of 8 bits, that is C0, C1, C2. Then we have C3, C4, C5 and C6 and C7. The first 3 bits, that is lower bits of port C, will act as handshaking control bits for port B. The lower bits of port C will act as handshaking control for port B, and the upper 3 bits, that is C3, C4 and C5, will act as handshake control for port A, and the remaining 2 bits C6 and C7, which can be used or cannot be used for any data transfer. These are left alone, which can be used for any data transfer. The main purpose of port C here is for handshaking control. The first 3 bits C0, C2, C3 will be used along with port B for handshaking, and then data transfer is to be done by port B, which is a 8-bit port. Now the next 3 bits of port C are going to use for handshake control for port A, and then the data transfer is to be done by using port A, which is also a 8-bit port. This is all about the mode 1. Now we are left with mode 2 of a input output mode. It is also known as Strobed Bi-Directional input output mode. In this mode, additional features are inserted as compared to mode 1. These additional features are synchronization between data transfer and receiver, handshaking signal provided to maintain proper data flow. These are the 2 additional features which are going to added in the mode 2 as compared to mode 1. The another important feature of this mode is that the read and write pins, the read and write signals, decide whether 8 to 5 is going to operate an input or output port. That is, the 8-bit port we are using for any data transfer, that will act as input mode or output port. So read and write signals, read and write pins will decide the 8-bit port can be used as input port or output port. Now the various salient features of this mode are, first of all, in this mode only port A is available for any data transfer. It is a bidirectional data transfer. In this mode port B is not used. Port C is used. The first 3 pins of port C, that is PC0 to PC2, these are used for any data transfer or input output lines along with port A. The next 5 bits of port C, that is PC3 to PC7, these 5 bits are used for handshake control before interfacing any input output device with the 8086 microprocessor. That is, these 5 bits of port C are used along with port A before any data transfer. Now we will discuss about control word format of 8255. It is actually the control word register, which is a 8-bit register. It is found in 8255 IC. So this 8-bit register comprises of following bits, that is D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6 and D7. These all bits in combination can control the different modes of different ports, that is port A, port B and port C. Now first we will move to the D7 bit. D7 bit, if it is at high state, that is 1 state, then input output mode can be operated, that it can be mode 0, mode 1 or mode 2. If it is 0, then BSR mode will be operated. That is, if it is at high state, any input output mode can be operated. If it is at low state, and then BSR mode will be operated. Now we will first talk about these 3 first bits. We will start with D2 bit. D2 bit actually tells about the mode of operation of port B. If this bit is 0, then port B will be operated in mode 0, and if this bit is 1, then port B will be operated in mode 1. Actually port B is operated in mode 0 and mode 1, but it is not operated in mode 3, as we have discussed. Now the D1 bit actually tells the port B whether the port V will act as input port or output port. If this bit is 1, then it will be treated as input port. If this bit is 0, then it will be treated as output port. So the bit D1 actually tells the port B that it is operated as input port or output port. Now the bit D0 actually tells the port C lower, that is port C lower, whether it is to be operated as input port if the bit is 1, or it is operated as output port if the state of D0 is low. So these 3 bit actually defines the operation of port B and port C lower. Now we will move to the next 4 bits, D3, D4, D5 and D6. The D3 bit actually operates the port C upper. If this bit is at high state, that is digital 1 state, then port C upper will be operated as input port, and if it is at low state, digital 0 state, it will be operated as output port. Now the D4 bit actually tells the port A whether it is operated as input port or output port. If it is at high state, then it will be input port. If it is a low state, then it will be output port. Now the next 2 bit, D5 and D6. D5 and D6 will select the mode of port A. If the D5 and D6 is at 0 0 state, then both the bits are 0 0, then there will be a mode 0 for port A. And if the state of D5 and D6 is 0 1, then there will be mode 1 for port A. And if the state of D5 and D6 is 1 0, then there will be mode 2 for port A. Actually port A operated in all the modes of a 8255, that is mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2. But as we have discussed, the port B operated in 2 mode, port A operated in 3 modes. So based upon these, the bits of control word registers are allocated. Thank you.